It's Cake.
And Whimsy.
And we know you're sad like we are that you can't go to Brimfield right now.
So much sad.
However, one thing that I really enjoy doing when I can't do something is planning for when I can do it. I know that might not bring joy to everybody, but it does to me. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks. Get your pen or pencil handy.
Absolutely.
Or just type it on your keyboard. I don't really care.
Number 2 pencil, please. Let's not be monsters. Or black ink pen.
No blue ink. None of this blue ink.
We'll go for that fancy stuff and be prepared to have your mind blown. I set expectations too high again, didn't I?
You did.
Okay. We're going to give you some tips.
So let's start with the tips, and then we'll work our way over to things you'll want to bring with you.
First tip. This is not the first time we've talked about it. Parking ticket. Take the parking ticket. Park wherever you would like, as long as you are not blocking people in or not in a fire lane and not next to a fire hydrant. If you're not in any of those 3 areas, park wherever you want. Come back when you're all done through your day. You'll have a crisp $25 ticket waiting for you. Pay it before you leave so you don't forget. They'll be very happy. It's a fun transaction for everyone, and your day was not spent wasting 2 hours looking for parking that really didn't exist and that you were going to have to pay $10 to get into anyway.
And Town Hall, super friendly about it, as are the police officers.
Yeah.
You might make a friend.
Nobody is sad about this.
And how often do you get to say, I broke the law and made a friend? It's rare.
So that's our best tip for you.
So each season at Brimfield presents a different challenge, each unique challenge for spring. The spring edition.
That's Gypsy Moth season.
Oh my goodness. One year, it's not super bad every year, but there was one year that we walked and we were just covered in gypsy moth larvae because when they're tiny, right at that time of year, they fly through the air and just coat everything if it's a particularly bad year.
With a little bit of filament behind them, so you breathe in at the wrong time and you just suck in a gypsy moth doing God only knows what to your insides. So
it's not okay.
It's a little weird. A hat will help. Certainly a hat with a brim that can kind of cut that stuff off a little bit will probably attract more to it.
A beekeeper's hat where you've got the mesh netting everywhere. Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe find a beekeeper hat while you're at Brimfield. I'm sure you can.
Probably.
Don that baby.
Also, summer. Yes, not also, but summer. Summer is incredibly stupidly hot, even though it's New England.
Yes, it is.
You're going to sweat. All the walking around, all the crowds of people.
Big fields, no trees, dirt, dust, lots of wind. Plan accordingly.
And that is one of the most popular seasons for it, so it is crowded. It doesn't matter if you go on an off day or not, it's crowded.
Fall.
It's still crowded. It's still crowded because it's fall in New England. You do have a slight issue with temperature in the fall because it can start off frigid and then become that balmy, super hot and muggy, disgusting day. So pack for everything.
If you happen to be visiting Brimfield from somewhere that's not a day trip, I don't know, book a hotel like a year in advance or something. These hotels are booked. Every hotel in the area will be booked by the people who are the vendors there. And every hotel within 50 miles will probably be booked, I don't know, 6 months ahead of time. So think about that. That is something you want to consider.
Porters. I think this is Dan's happiest thing ever, even though we've never used one.
So we didn't realize this until the end, but there are porters that exist at every one of these fairs, usually run by, each one of the sections, usually run by some volunteer organization who's trying to raise money, and they will carry your stuff to your car for you when you're done shopping. Now, I don't know how much they charge. I don't really care how much they charge. And I don't know the extent that you can use them. I mean, if it were me, the next time I go, I might just ask them to follow me around all day.
I mean, we've had some very overweight things that were extremely awkward to get back to wherever we managed to park before we learned the parking ticket trick.
It's been a rough trip back to the car, and if you have to stop what you're doing halfway through to take a trip back, oh, that is the worst. Although, as part of this, every single vendor there will hold it for you until you're ready to leave. But even then, you've got to make an exacting trip back exactly to follow your steps, or you leave some stuff there.
All of you dog lovers, some of the lots allow dogs, some of them do not. I don't have a list of which ones, but you can probably check for yourself. It's probably better to leave your puppies at home.
Terrain. What's the best way to handle terrain? All flat, not a whole lot of stuff, right? No. This is not a push buggy end of things or a push stroller thing. This is a pull, dragging something behind you kind of place, not a pushing something. So wagons maybe, strollers if you've got a good outdoor one, but probably a pull, not a push.
A lot of rocks, so there's a lot of losing your footing and twisting your ankle if you're not paying attention. Also, if it has rained anytime in the last month, it seems like, there will be huge puddles and mud and things everywhere, which also forces a lot of the parking lots to close down, which is how we discovered the parking ticket plan.
Right?
The parking ticket plan.
Yeah, I like that. Good alliteration.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, so here's a few games we like to play while we're there.
Find Laura Spencer.
You possibly have watched Flea Market Flip. If not, it's a great thing to watch.
It's very fun.
Laura Spencer is someone who hosts that.
From Good Morning America.
One of the two flea market things that she likes to go to are Brimfield and then the White Elephant or something.
Chunk or...
Yeah, down in southern Connecticut.
Yeah.
So you will see her there quite often when it's happening. So if you catch film crews there, part of our game is Find Laura Spencer. An alternate to that game is Find Laura Spencer Scouts. These are people who are looking around to find the deals that they might guide people to for the show.
And then if you happen to find yourself in one of the tents that they're scouting out, then look around and try to take a guess on what you think the people who are playing Flea Market Flip are going to pick.
It is a amazingly fun game, and you can get immediate gratification by stepping back, watching them come to that place in the next half hour, and buy exactly the thing you thought they might be interested in. So it's a great and fun game.
And another fun game we play is Guess That Price. Not anything we're gonna buy. Just, I wonder what the price is on that. And then we guess, because Brimfield prices are wildly all over the place depending on the vendor.
You have people who are selling things that are actual antiques and want antique prices for them. You have people selling things that are old enough to be antiques, but nobody cares about them, and which are ridiculously cheap, and everywhere in between. And
sometimes
really
there's
fun.
just weird things that aren't antiques, but
yeah,
those are real wild cards when you're trying to guess that price. Guess that price!
One of our favorite things is with chests. We see Trunks, a chest or a trunk, we have to find out what it costs, and we are really bad at this game. So
the next part of this is we're going to go through a list of things that you should probably bring with you. This is where you're going to want your little notepad or
a personal
something.
Assistant, perhaps.
Oh, fancy. First up is cash. Cold hard monies. Yeah. There is an ATM, but it's a pain to get to. It's expensive, and sometimes it's just not working. So bring money. Everybody takes cash there, including Town Hall when you pay your parking ticket.
Exactly. Next thing, hats. Wear hats. They keep the weather off of you and the insects off of you.
You definitely want it when there's sun or bugs. Or wind, or not so much wind, but rain. Water, speaking of rain. Bring water. Water, it's going to be a long day. You're going to want something to drink.
Bring snacks.
Snacks are vital. Again, it's a really long day. And something with protein, it's a very good idea.
Sunscreen. Particularly if you're pasty like us. Bring sunscreen. You will regret it if you don't.
For us, a new essential is a back brace. If you're middle-aged or older, it's probably a good idea.
If you're the kind of person who, if you step wrong, could throw your back out, and that's going to ruin your whole day, you will step wrong. For a place that has no trees, there are a ton of roots in the ground. I don't understand, but
It's all those rocks.
You will twist at some point, step wrong, step into a divot or something, and
bend over to look at something closer, trip over a small child.
Kick a small child, either way.
On the same note, good shoes. I got good shoes for our trip to Disney, and I'm really excited to get to try them out at Brimfield now. That's going to make a huge difference.
You're going to be walking. There's a lot. Assume you're going to walk 3 to 5 miles that day, because you probably will. More so if you're, just have the energy to.
Also, on that same note, one more time, bring Motrin or Tylenol with you.
Oh, right, yeah.
Having an anti-inflammatory of some sort, just in case you happen to throw your back out, or maybe even taking it preemptively. So not Tylenol, but Motrin. Ibuprofen is where you really want to go with that. If you have any other medications, like if you're an asthmatic, make sure you bring an inhaler, because it's going to be, depending on the time of year, you're going to be contending with not only exercise making your lungs go crazy, but also pollen and heat and just a number of factors. Bring your inhaler.
Yes. Dress in layers. Layers. You're going to get cold. You're going to get hot. It's New England. It's going to change temperature throughout the day several times. Dress accordingly.
Bags. You're going to want a bag that's convenient. This one we use a lot. It straps to your leg so that it's really hands-free and out of the way, and it's
looks like a cool holster.
It does, and it distributes the weight nice and evenly. A backpack is another good option for this. Just something so you can carry all of your snacks and your water and all of these things without worrying about it.
A backpack is probably essential. One of the people you're with should have a backpack. That's going to be, you want your hands free.
A fully charged phone. Highly recommended.
Ooh. Okay, we're in this day and age, so, and even if we weren't, I would recommend this, but hand sanitizer and a mask. There's so many people there, and you know what, even if COVID isn't a thing anymore, it is still going to be a bunch of disgusting people who don't know how to cover their mouths when they cough and don't wash their hands properly, and they're touching the same things you are, and every one of these seasons is a cold and flu season, so cover, take precautions.
Weather related, bring an umbrella. That is the best way to ensure you won't need one.
Bring an umbrella that will collapse. Remember, everything you bring, you have to haul through that entire fairground. So bring an umbrella that will collapse.
I would argue that if you bring an umbrella but leave it in your car, it still does the whole thing of, I brought an umbrella so it didn't rain.
That's entirely possible. I haven't really looked into the physics of that.
Bug spray. Very important.
Yeah.
Whatever you use for bug spray, very good. We make our own with essential oils, lavender and peppermint and witch hazel, and that works pretty well for us.
If you're going to spend a day at a park, this is very similar to that, except you're walking the whole time.
These are a lot of fields, open fields, that are just full of bugs.
This is a good one.
Traffic playlist. You are going to be sitting in traffic for a good part of your day. Even if you do park wherever you feel like, before you even get anywhere near it, you're going to be sitting in traffic.
Imagine all the best laid plans for avoiding traffic. That's what you need to do to only spend a couple hours in traffic.
So, good music that'll keep your spirits up, or a book that you're really interested in. Whatever does it for you, make sure you have that so you don't get increasingly more angry and frustrated the closer you get. And
still do those plans, because if you don't do those plans, you will be in traffic for 4 to 5 hours. And that is an almost just impermissible amount of time.
Cooling devices that can be in the form of this. Could you get the other one too, please? Which looks like it's weird construction paper, but it's, I don't remember what they're called, but you wet them, you snap them, you put it on your neck. It works really well and stays wet for a long time. It doesn't drip a lot. Hand fan. It's a simple tool that you can close right up, put it right back in your bag. It takes very little room, lightweight, does the job. If you have forgotten your hand fan, you will find several vendors selling these. Buy them. Don't pass them up. Don't buy an antique one, but you know. And the last, possibly the most important thing on this list, coffee. Oh yeah. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're going to need to keep your energy up. So your protein snacks, your water, coffee. There is no Dunks within walking distance of this.
There's not. You're dealing with fast food from food carts, and you're dealing with hot coffee for some reason, or maybe a cold lemonade.
Sometimes they have like a pre-mixed thing, but yeah, bring coffee. Stop at Dunks before you get anywhere near Brimfield, and get it then.
Absolutely. Get yourself charged up.
So hopefully these are going to be helpful to you when Brimfield opens back up again, and you'll have fun planning your own trip and getting ready.
And do take pictures and share with us whatever weird things you find. There is nothing better than seeing people's weird Brimfield finds.
And if we missed something in our list of preparations, put them in the comments. We'd really like to hear and be more prepared ourselves next time, because we go there every chance we get. And any way we can make it more pleasant, we'd like to.
Are you enjoying these Brimfield videos? If so, give us a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel. We will share more. We will do more. And I think now, let's frost the cake.